You know, when you leave something in a cart, come back the next day, and the price is somehow higher, and you're like, seriously? Because you just needed a day to think. And that is one of the most annoying parts of online shopping. Because now it's not about whether you want the product or not, but you feel like you're being rushed into making a decision. And there could be multiple things why the price went up. Maybe the sale ended, maybe stock changed, or demand went up, or maybe who knows. But the result is the same. You start thinking, should I just buy this now before it gets even worse? And that is how people end up spending more than they meant to. So, in this video, I'll show you a simple way to handle that. Instead of checking prices over and over, you can set up a system that watches them on your behalf. And it'll also help you decide whether a deal is actually worth it. By the end of this video, you will have this set up using two browser extensions. The first one is Keepa, which is for shopping from Amazon, and the second one is Karma, and that is for basically everything else. And I'll show you where AI fits into this. We're not going to use AI to magically predict prices or guess, but we're going to use AI to just help you make a cleaner decision once you have the right information. Now, one of the reasons I think the online shopping gets annoying sometimes is because people do not really have a process. They just keep checking the product page over and over again. They look at it once, then later that night, and again the next day. And before you even know, that one random thing you want to buy is taking up way too much space in your head. And that is a real problem. It stops being just about the price and starts becoming mental clutter. Because the more you keep going back to the same item, the harder it gets to think about it clearly. So, the goal is not to become better at checking prices manually. The goal is to stop doing that. And before we get into the tools, there is one thing that makes this whole process work better. That is, pick up your target price before your emotion gets involved. That's it. If you do not choose a number in advance, then every little discount starts looking exciting. And half the time, it's not even a good deal. It just feels better than the last price you saw. A simple way to do this is that if you do not need the item urgently, aim for around 20% lower than today's price. And if you need it soon, aim for around 10% lower and give yourself a deadline so that you do not wait for it forever. It does not have to be perfect, you just need a starting point. So let's dive in. If you're buying from Amazon, the first thing you need to do is download Keepa's browser extension. And once you install it, it shows price history right on the Amazon product page. That is the part I like the most because now you're not guessing whether today's price is good or not. You can actually see if the item has been cheaper before, how often it drops, and whether the current price is normal or not. Let's take an example. Say you want to buy this DeLonghi espresso machine. Open the product page and scroll down to the Keepa chart. If this is your first time using Keepa, the chart can look a little intimidating, and that is normal. You do not need every line on that chart. So let's just turn off all the extra seller lines and just keep Amazon and buy box line, which is the pink and the orange one. Those are the two lines you should focus on because they usually reflect the price you're most likely to pay. You also have an option to select the date range. For this example, let's go with 3 months data. All you need to do now is take a snapshot of this, keep our history, and then use AI to read the chart and get answers to some simple questions. The prompt that you will use will help you in answering some basic questions like what were the best dip periods, what price would count as a real buy point, what price is worth considering only if I need the item soon, or what alert should I actually set. AI will read the data that looks a bit messy and help you make a simple decision.
She likes using both Keepa and AI because the decision is based on evidence, not guesswork.
True. And once you have that buy rule, set the keeper alert and leave it alone. To do that, click on the Track Product tab, then enter your target price in the buy box and Amazon fields. Choose how long you want Keeper to track the item and click on Start Tracking. Once that is done, Keeper will show you a confirmation that the product is now being tracked. If you want to see everything you are tracking in one place, you can also click on Tracking Overview. And that's it, your alert is set up. After that, do not keep going back to the product page every day because that defeats the whole point. Also, do not start tracking 20 random items right away. Only start with 2 or 3 things you genuinely want to buy. Now, for non-Amazon products, the flow is slightly different. Here, we will use AI first. Because if you're on a brand website or another retailer site, you usually do not have the same kind of clean price history. Hence, you need to use AI first to think through the decision before you start tracking. So, let's take an example. You want to buy this crossbody bag which cost around $730. Before you save it in Karma, you want to know a few things like, does this brand even run discounts? Is this bag likely to go on a sale? What is the return policy? Or are there any shipping fees or duties? And multiple more questions. Hence, you should use AI first to get these answers. And it's not magic. Over here, AI is basically helping you figure out what kind of deal you're even waiting for. Because sometimes the answer is this brand really discounts that item, or you should wait for a seasonal sale. That information is useful because now you're not tracking with vague hope, but you're going in with a plan. Now, since you know what kind of discount or trigger you care about, you will use Karma. It's simple. Just download the browser extension, open the product page, save the item, and set the type of alert you want. And that's it. What I like about Karma is that it creates a pause. You're not buying in the moment. You're saving the item and basically saying, I like this, but I do not need to decide right now. And that alone helps a lot. Let's quickly walk through the steps. Open the product page on the retailer's website and then click on the Karma browser extension. Once you do that, Karma pulls the product into the side panel. From there, click on the product to save it and then go to the My Karma tab. Expand the product and then set the price change or discount alert you want. After that, Karma keeps an eye on it for you. I also like that Karma keeps everything in one place, which is way better than trying to remember prices from screenshots, old tabs, or just memory. If you go to the Karma website and open saved items, you can see everything you're tracking in one place. Again, keep the list small. If you save too many things, the alerts stop meaning anything. But if you save a few things you're actually considering to buy, then the notifications help.
She likes karma because it turns I want this now into I will buy this if it actually reaches my target price.
Yes, and a few quick mistakes that you should avoid. Do not ask AI for a price with no real information. You will get a confident answer that means nothing. Also, do not set some fantasy target just because you hope the item will crash, and once you set the tracker, stop checking the page every day because that habit is a whole thing we are trying to get rid of. So, before we wrap up, if you're shopping on Amazon, use Keeper first to check the history, then use AI to turn that data into a buy rule, and then set your alert. If it is not on Amazon, use AI first to figure out what kind of deal is even worth waiting, and then use Karma to track it. That's it. No more checking the same product page multiple times, and no more panic buying because the sale banner made you nervous. And no more trying to remember whether the price was actually better last week. If you want the exact prompts I use, comment tracker and I'll share them with you. Also, tell me what is the most ridiculous price jump you have seen online? The kind that made you close the tab immediately. If this was helpful, hit subscribe and like. This channel is all about using AI to save time and make better everyday decisions. See you in the next video.